Hey guys, what is up? ImCameo. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new gaming PC build video for the month of October 2016. Now, this is going to be a $650 gaming PC build for October. Not only is it going to run the newest titles like Battlefield 1 and other games that recently have come out very, very well, it's also going to run games like GTA 5, Incredible, Skyrim, Perfect, all of the games that you want to play on PC, 1080p, 60 FPS, no issue. So leading the charge in this build is going to be the AMD FX 8350. Honestly, if you're looking at budget CPUs, this thing is amazing. For 150 bucks, you're getting an incredible processor that's going to run almost anything you want it to. Now, should it be used for content creation, say YouTube and streaming? It won't be as beneficial in that sense, but when it comes to gaming, this thing is awesome. Don't discredit it though. At 4 gigahertz, it can be overclocked to 4.5. With 8 cores, this thing is incredible for almost anything you want to do with it. So instead of going with the new AMD Wraith cooler, that's about 30 bucks, I'm going with the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo, my favorite CPU cooler, the most popular CPU cooler ever. This thing is incredible, and at 25 bucks after a rebate, this thing is fantastic. And even at 35 bucks, the standard retail price, this thing is still an incredible, very, very quiet CPU cooler. Now, while the motherboard's not very interesting when it comes to a PC build, this thing's going to handle the job perfectly fine. It's going to be an Asus Micro ATX motherboard. Very, very simple. I've used it in a lot of budget builds that I've done in the past. With this processor, it can have 32 gigabytes of DDR3 memory, so when DDR3 gets less relevant and you need more of it, this is going to work perfectly fine. Plus, it's just a nice budget motherboard. In fact, right now it's only 36 bucks. Usually retails for about 50, I want to say. So honestly, I don't see a reason not to go with this motherboard. For memory, we are looking at the Kingston HyperX Fury series of memory. It's going to be 2 sticks of 8 gigabytes each for a total of 16 gigabytes for about 75 bucks. Honestly, it's a really good price on memory right now, especially on DDR3. Battlefield 1 recommends you have 16 gigs of memory to run 1080p 60 FPS, so I made it happen in this build. Honestly, this thing is going to be set. Next up is probably the most boring part of the build. Is going to be the hard drive. Honestly, if you guys have watched my videos before, you probably know what it is. So Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte hard drive, 7200 RPM, about 50 bucks. Year after year after year, this happens to be the best budget hard drive. If you don't have room for an SSD in your build, this thing is perfect. It's a terabyte of storage, guys. I have one in my build. I know a lot of my friends have these in their builds. Most people in general are going to have a 1 terabyte drive, and if it's not the Western Digital Blue, it's going to be a Seagate drive for a terabyte, around the same price. So honestly, just go with this. It's going to store plenty of games. You'll be perfectly fine, even with those huge game files when it comes to games like Battlefield 1 and even Gears of War if you're playing it on PC. So the fun part of this build. Now, I was debating between graphics cards, and I was going to go with the RX 480 8GB model originally in this build and make it a $700 gaming PC build, but that graphics card is sold out really everywhere you go, and the only way you're going to get it is if you pay a ridiculous premium for it. So I figured I'm not going to include it in this build, because if you guys are wanting to play Battlefield 1 on PC right now, you want to get the parts ordered within a week or so, you're probably not going to be able to get an RX 480 8GB, and if you can, you're in the very small minority that's going to be able to get one. So instead I went with a more available card. It's going to be the EVGA 1060 3GB card. So for 200 bucks, this thing is going to be perfectly fine. Now, no, it doesn't have as much VRAM as the RX 480, either the 4GB or the 8GB model, but honestly, this is going to be perfectly fine. Battlefield 1 recommends that you have a graphics card similar to this, so I figure if you're going to be playing Battlefield 1 or similar games, I would say Battlefield 1 is probably the most intense game you'll be playing as of right now. This graphics card is going to run it perfectly fine. You should not have any issues whatsoever with this graphics card. And again, it's something you can upgrade in the future, so if you do want to go with, you know, a higher end card in the future when the 1100 series come out or the 1200 series come out, if that's going to be the next line of graphics card from EVGA, you can, no issue whatsoever. So powering this beast of a budget PC is going to be the Corsair 550 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. Now, I usually go with an EVGA power supply when it comes to budget builds, but for only 50 bucks you're getting 550 watts of power, 80 plus bronze certified, and it's semi-modular, so you can remove some of the cables from the power supply, making your build a little bit nicer. And I think in a build around this price point, modular is definitely something that you're going to want, even if it's just semi-modular. If it's not fully modular, that's fine, but cable management is going to be key, especially when you have a tower like the one we have. And the tower that we do have is the Deepcool Ducase V2 mid-tower case. Now, I've never used this case in one of my builds before. It's actually a pretty new case that I've seen anyway, but it looks very, very nice. It's from Deepcool, so it's a pretty reasonable price. but it still has the window. It looks super sleek, super nice. So with that window, you're going to want to be able to cable manage, which is why we chose the power supply we did. So for this build, everything put together, you're looking at about $650, depending on the rebates at the time and what the actual prices of the product are. Now when it comes to stuff like RAM and hard drives and stuff like that, if price is an issue, if price changes a lot, you can obviously swap those out for similar products. But realistically, if you order this build right here, you're going to run really any game on PC that you want. So thank you guys for watching this video. If I turned you to the PC Master Race because of this video, hit that like button. If not, still hit that like button. I do really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button for more PC build videos. If you're interested in any other budget builds or some higher end builds, check out the other videos on my channel. I'll leave a link to the list in the description down below for the parts of this build. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.